How's it going, everybody? Good to see you. Happy Friday. Hope you're enjoying your week. We've had some wonderfully nice weather. Hopefully you're still sciencing at home, maybe doing some stuff outside because of the fact that it's been so beautiful. So as you can see, we are in the confinements of the museum here, and we're doing some wonderful things moving forward. And we're having the capability of kind of expanding upon a little bit, albeit safe. Again, we're still washing our hands, we're still keeping our distance, wearing our masks and doing that. But we have the capability of the museum now to utilize the materials we have here and move forward with some of these really cool things that are happening with OWOW. So if you don't know, keep referencing the website, keep checking and seeing what we're doing. There's a lot of neat things that are going to be happening over the next couple of months. So hopefully you'll be a part of it. And that's what we want. We want you to be a part of it, right? So, yeah. So today I posted that we would be working on an engineering, because we're going to be moving into engineering month at OWOW. We would be engineering and manufacturing something on the ways of a balloon, a water bottle balloon car. So, and the Newton's law that I was referencing yesterday, if you didn't answer it, right, he has 3 laws. We're gonna work more with the third one, right? So Newton's third law states every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So you're gonna see that come to fruition here when I'm hoping my balloon car works in front of you. So if it doesn't, then we modify it. And I will say that this is one of my most favorite exercises to do, because there's so many modifications you can do to your car. Now let me give you a little teaser here. Just within the last few minutes here, I was able to manufacture my car, but I added some things to it because I noticed that it wasn't working the way that I had intended it to work. So that's what we want you to do, is we want you to take the ideas that we have, and we want you to build with us, but we want you to modify them, right? Make them a little bit more effective to translating that experience. So again, utilization of materials you have in your own home, right? And if you don't, you just find something. So first things first, you're going to need a water bottle. And I will say, not every water bottle is created equally, right? Kind of like us. Nobody's created equally. Some of us have this weird stuff on our face. Some of us have beautiful blue eyes or green or nice hair. But again, not every bottle is created equally. So some bottles are a little bit stronger as far as plastic goes, and you can use whatever bottle you'd like. Small water bottles work. You can use a 2-liter bottle for this, but I will say, as the bottles get bigger, you want to make sure that the materials you're using are suitable for what we're doing here. So I'm going to be using a small Aquafina bottle, so it'll look something like this, okay? And you're going to want to keep the caps. So we need a water bottle, whatever shape, whatever form you have. You're going to need the caps off of the bottle. You're going to need 4 of these, okay? Because these are going to act as the wheels, okay? And we're going to manufacture a wheel and axle, right? Which is one of the simple machines. Always thinking science through all this, right? Okay, so bottle, caps. You're going to need some rubber bands, a balloon if you have it. You're going to need 2 straws. You're going to need 1 shish kebab skewer, okay? Or a stick that fits in the inside of a straw. So if you do go outside and you find a stick, it has to fit inside the straw here. So my shish kebab skewer, I cut into 2. So this was 1, I cut it in half, I have 2. This is going to be the axle for our car. Some tools that you may need, and you don't need tools for this. I just grabbed a few things that you might have in your own home. I always like to reference utilization of things and tools that you have in your own home, because as an engineer, I think it's important for you to understand how some of these tools work. Now, I'm not using anything out of the ordinary here. Obviously, a pair of scissors, if you have them, great for cutting things. A hammer, but you don't need this. I'm going to show you, you're not going to need a hammer, but if you have one, great. This is called a claw hammer, right? Because of this claw, right? And it's also a lever, another simple machine. Go figure, right? If you have a lighter, this is not necessary. It's just an easy way to get a hole in the bottle. And I'll show you in a second how, again, not referencing for any of the children or the families to play with fire. We don't want that, right? So if you have a lighter, that's fine. This will work. Only big hands are allowed to use this though, okay? And then I have an awl, and an awl is a really neat tool because it's very pointy at the end and it has the ability to poke a hole in something very simple. Okay, so, but if you don't have this, you can use a pencil, you can use a nail, anything that's sharp at the very end just to poke a hole with, okay? Tape and glue, or one or the other, doesn't matter. I'm gonna use hot glue. It dries much quicker. I want the effect to happen over time, but if you have tape, this'll suffice. You don't necessarily need one or the other, you can use both, however you wanna do it, okay? All right, so the first things first, right? This is the first thing that you wanna do. You wanna take your bottle, okay? And you're gonna want to do two things to your bottle. The first thing is you're gonna need to get a hole right in this area right here. So there's the opening of the bottle. Here's where you need to poke a hole or get a hole in the bottle. Now, this is where I'm gonna reference using my lighter. So I'm just gonna burn a hole right in my bottle here, okay? Now, the plastic will melt very quickly, okay? And it'll open up for you a neat little hole. That hole is gonna give our straw the ability to come through. So there's the hole that I burned, okay? It's right there. Okay, it doesn't have to be big. It just has to have the ability to hold our straw, okay? The other thing is you're gonna need to place, and this is over time what I found is to be most effective. When we blow up our balloon for this, the balloon's gonna wanna move all over the place. So one of the things that I found is you can take a piece of tape, okay? And you can roll it up in a little loop here and put it at the very end. So if my hole is right here, you want the tape to go right here. That's where our balloon is gonna sit, so it doesn't move all over. Now, if you have glue, then you can put a little dab of glue there and glue your balloon, but I will say this, rubber's gonna burn. So I would recommend using tape, but try it out. If you wanna use glue, try it out, see what happens, and you'll find out if your rubber gets a hole in it or some of this sort, okay? So that's the first thing, hole in the bottle, piece of tape, and one of your straws. This one's not gonna be cut. You're gonna take your full straw here, and you're gonna loop it through the bottle here. Now you can go either way up through the bottle. I'm gonna push mine through this way, okay? Now you may need to make that hole a little bit bigger, but essentially, okay, that's what you wanna see. Okay, so you wanna have a piece of tape at the end of your bottle and the straw sticking out. Now, I did glue my straw here so my straw doesn't move in a separate bottle. This is a separate bottle I use. I glued the straw here and here. And I'm gonna show you why. Only because if you want this thing to be a little bit more durable, your straw won't move when you're blowing into it and blowing air into your balloon. Okay, so that's essentially what that looks like. Then obviously I would have a piece of tape here, okay? The next thing that you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna start to work on your axles and your wheel, okay? So you're gonna take your plastic tops, okay? Now we need a hole in here. Now the hole can't be bigger than the axle. It has to be just enough so that when you poke the hole in and you stick the shish kebab skewer in, it fits, okay? So what I did is I took my awl and I just poked a small hole in here. So let me show you how easy this is, okay? Just poking a hole right through, and there's a little center hole in the cap already, and that's what I'm using as reference. So I didn't go very far in, I just poked it in a little bit, and if you notice, my shish kebab skewer fits right in there, okay, just like that. So if you put two caps on, okay, then you obviously have that simple machine. There's your wheel and axle, okay, and that's gonna serve as what our balloon car is gonna roll on, right, our wheel and axle. And then we need two of these, but you can't stick both wheels on just yet, okay? So if you wanna go ahead and prep your wheels, you're gonna need 4 holes in 4 caps, okay? Now, once you're finished with that, we're gonna go back to our bottle, okay? Now our bottle is gonna look something like this. Now we need to have something to hold our axle on. We can't just glue this onto the bottle, right? Because then it wouldn't move. So there's where that second straw comes in handy, right? So I'm gonna take the straw out of this, okay? There's our straw. You're gonna need to cut this in half. Or I have a bendy straw. I'm gonna take that bendy part off, okay? And then I'm gonna cut that 6 inches in half. Okay, we just need the ability for something, okay, 2 pieces, okay, to hold our axle and our wheel. Okay, so what's gonna happen is we're gonna glue this on the bottom or tape it on the bottom of our bottle. So let me show you real quick what that's gonna look like. So I got my hot glue ready. Now, here's one of the modifications that you can do for this. what's going to happen if we glue our axle or make our wheels shorter and the span between the axle and the wheel source? So if I put my wheels here, it may react differently. Or if I spread them out, it may react differently. So one of the modifications you can do. So I'm just going to put one at the very back end of my bottle here. And I'm only going to do one side just because we're struck for time here. I know you guys are wanting to get outside, but essentially one of your straws is going to go at the back, just like that, okay? So essentially, if this is the top of the bottle, we have the ability to stick one of our axles through that straw, okay? Well, might as well go ahead and do the second one, just so you guys can get an idea of what it looks like, okay? Second piece, okay? So now we basically have the frame and the body for our car, right? Now you're going to need to let these dry if you've glued them. If you've taped them, you have to be very careful that you don't bump it or knock that tape off there, because obviously the tape's not going to stick as well as the glue. But again, you're just using materials that you would find in your own home, okay? So the place where my axle is going to go through, right? So let me show you what's going to happen here. So if we place one of our axles through there, okay? Now, if you've gone ahead and pre-prepped your car, your wheel and axle, okay? You want to push them a little bit closer, okay? There's the tail end of your car, right? So you should have the ability to allow it to roll across the floor here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that second one. All right, we're going to poke the holes in our caps with our awl. Okay. I'll put one side of the axle in, one of the wheels. Okay, just like so. And that goes through one side. And then we're going to place the other wheel on the axle. All right, so check it out, guys. There's your car. Now, here's another modification. I noticed that when I glued my straws down, it's not level. If you can see in the camera here, it's not level. So let's move this down. So my car may wobble a little bit, but it does roll. But it's got a little hitch in the giddy up, okay? Now, not everybody's car is going to roll as effective or as efficiently. And that's the neat thing about this, is you're going to have to go through and you're going to have to modify yours a little bit. You're going to have to make sure that the wheels, one of my wheels isn't even sitting on the ground, okay? So we're at the pretty much tail end of this and being able to utilize this. Let's see who said hello. Hi, Jen. Tell Carmen I said hello. Robbie, Marcus, good to see you. All right, so we're at the very end here now. We still have our balloon, okay? And that's going to go on the end of our straw, okay? So you're going to want to put that on the end of the straw. And the way to fix that is taking one of your rubber bands, okay, and wrapping it around the balloon in the straw. All right, so I'm going to wrap mine around. And just for time purposes, you'll get to a point where I put this off to the side, right? Your balloon has a rubber band on it, okay? There's my straw, there's my wheels, okay? Now, how do we make our car go? Okay, so here's how we're going to demonstrate Newton's law. So if I blow air into the end of my straw, it's going to fill up my balloon. My balloon is going to have technically a gas, carbon dioxide, that comes from my body, right? So we're going to blow up that balloon. And when the air pushes out of the car this way, which way do you think the car is going to go? If you answered the opposite way, then you're absolutely correct. So Newton's law states every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So let's try it out. Listen, this is a test, right? And there's where the modification comes in and the ability to manufacture your car how you want it. Let's see if mine works. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's try it out. All right, so I'm going to blow some carbon dioxide in here. Now, you can pinch off your straw here so that you can set your car down. Now, let's see if my car is going to move. We'll set it right here. Not enough air. Oh, nope. Now, some of the modifications you can make to this are allowing that straw to push and angle it down to the ground. So I'm going to try this one more time. I'm going to angle this because that's where the air's coming out towards the ground. So it actually has a little bit of force and momentum, right? And you probably didn't see this, but I put some rubber bands on my tires here to act as tread. So that's going to allow the car to have a little bit more friction. So the plastic bottles slip and slide on tables like this. I did this on my table earlier, and it made the car go around in circles because it was too slippery. So I needed to create some friction. So what can you find to cause friction on your tires? I used a rubber band. Maybe you can find some popsicle sticks. Maybe you can find a little bit of dab of glue, whatever. So we're going to try this one more time. Pinching it off. All right, let's see if my car will move now. Oh, so I've actually, there we go. There we go. Let's see if it works now. It moved a little bit. You try this at home. Show us how yours works. See if it moves farther than my car. I had some stuff in the way here, but essentially you're demonstrating some really wonderful science principles. Newton's law. Again, you can modify yours. I would even recommend adding a little weight to your bottle to see what happens. Is your car going to move? Is it not going to move as far? Again, one of my most favorite exercises to do is to be able to give you the ability to modify your car how you want it. So just a little something for you to take home this weekend. You can build some cars, and then maybe mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, you can all build your cars and you can have a race, right? Whose car can get from point A to point B fastest? Listen, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Hope your holiday went well last weekend. Please continue to keep sciencing at home or sciencing outside. Check the website, check Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All of our videos are up there. Keep sciencing, stay safe. We're thinking about you. We want you to make sure that you are safe as well. So enjoy yourselves, have fun with this, and listen, we'll see you next week. And hopefully we'll have some more wonderful science experiments for you. So great seeing you. Hopefully you have a great weekend. See you next week.